hold on a minute. There's something... Nah, I guess there's a couple of things I want to double check. Well, one of them's not really significant, I guess.
Huh?
First off, this machine. We didn't even end up using this thing, did we? I was just wondering what it was.
Replicator makes it sound like it makes copies of stuff. Yeah, probably copies IG, whatever that is. Who knows? Ice cream by the gallon? Oh, good one!
Hey, this isn't the time for stupid jokes. There's a helpless child back there in the infirmary who needs our help. At any rate, as long as we don't know what IG means, we can't do anything with this machine, right?
That's right.
Makes sense. On to the second issue. Sigma, you found a journal and some sort of vial in the safe, right? The vial. Could you show it to me again? I didn't really get a good look at it before. You guys were in there so close I could barely see it. Was it really Accelavir? You really are an idiot. Although I guess in this case the G in IG stands for guy.
What are you doing?
Oh, don't worry. I'll keep it safe. I'll even give it back to you later. I don't think so. If you want it back, you're gonna have to listen to my request.
Request?
Yeah, that's what I said. If you want this back, in the next AB game, you have to choose ally.
That's horrible! You're using Quark's life as leverage!
Well, I've got some really good reasons to do so. I'll be happy to give it back if you just do what I say. I wouldn't try and take it back by force if I were you. You make any sudden moves and I'll smash it. Oh, and one more thing. Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Accelavir in here. I hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
That's not fair.
This game isn't about compassion. It's not about being clever. It's about one thing. How well you can manipulate people to your advantage. How unfair you can be. So, what are you gonna do? Ready to promise me you'll pick ally?
Sigma!
Oh, I knew you'd say it eventually. I'm glad you understand how this works. But don't think about trying anything funny. Break your promise and, well, you know what happens. See you chumps later. I'm really looking forward to the next round.
Are you really going to do what he says? Sigma, you've only got one BP right now. If we choose ally and he chooses betray... But that means... So you're going to die to save his life? That's... Why would you do that?
Ambidex gate has been opened. 45 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Sorry. I went ahead and cracked it open a bit early. You don't mind, right? I figured you and Clover would get up here right away. And besides, I thought it'd be best to get this done soon before you lose your nerve. I don't know about you. I'm really looking forward to the next round.
They're in the infirmary.
We carried Quark to one of the beds. Tenmyoji and Luna are looking after him.
How's he doing?
Well, it's hard to say. He seems to be sleeping soundly, but beyond that, there's really no way to know. Right. So what was your room, Sigma?
Is that so?
Did it look like the kind of place where they'd be researching viruses and DNA and those kinds of things?
Yeah, it did.
Was there any of that Excelavir?
Don't tell those other idiots that you found some Excelavir in here. I hear one word about it, and the next thing you hear will be little bits of glass shattering on the floor.
I see. Where does that leave us? We've still got about 40 minutes left until voting ends.
What are you gonna do?
I'm a little curious about that lab you found. I thought I might go take a peek at it.
I'll show you the way then.
That would be wonderful.
I think I'll go have a look at the room Alice Kay and Tenmyoji found. Never know. Maybe you missed something. Perhaps there's some Excelivir hidden somewhere in there.
Then I shall take you there.
What about you two? Where are you going?
Then I will too.
Glad that's settled.
Hold on. Show me that journal first. Dio told me about it. You wouldn't tell me anything about the lab except that you found a journal with, his words, some sort of bullshit language. You said you had it, so I was hoping I could take a look. This is Latin. Yeah, with time and a dictionary. Pardon me for not being able to translate a dead language on the fly. This looks like some kind of research log. It's not going to be some sort of, I took the dog for a walk today. It was nice kind of stuff. I can understand a little of it, mostly conjunctions and things like that. But most of these words I've never even seen before. Wait. I can read this one. Page 216. This isn't research notes. It looks like a personal entry. Don't rush me. This is gonna take a minute. Interesting. All right, I think I got it. It looks like they're talking about Radical 6. Not sure. Let me read it to you. Keep in mind I'm paraphrasing. That isn't the important part. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. There are two other things in here that worry me. First, the part about how they haven't managed to develop a treatment for it yet. What do you make of that? Exactly. But in the journal it says it might take 20 years to make something like that. December 29th. No year. Yeah, probably not. Anyway, moving on. The second concern I have is about the underground shelters it mentions. The newspaper article said something about quarantining people, too. After we read it, we all thought the same thing. What if this was one of those quarantine facilities? But this journal seems to suggest the opposite. The few humans who survived the outbreak have been locked away by the government in underground shelters. Yeah. I mean, there's no way to say for sure at this point, but it seems possible. And maybe the virus got in somehow. Just think about it for a minute. If this is one of those shelters, a lot of things start to make sense. Maybe we've been here for a long time. Like, maybe they put us to sleep somehow. Made us sleep for years, maybe even decades. While we were sleeping, the pandemic that the newspaper article talked about happened. And whoever had this journal made this entry. Right. It's all just speculation, but... yeah. Yeah, you're right. We don't have enough information to make any real conclusions. I think we should see if we can find anything else. I've changed my mind. You can tell me about Quark later.
He seems to be stable, as far as I can tell.
Still sleeping.
Please, go ahead.